Good afternoon, it's Wednesday, June 4th, 2025. Mental health is real. Seek help and the stigma on the news this afternoon. Governor Fubara visits President Tinubu in Lagos State. Former Transportation Minister Amaechi replies FCT Minister. Activist Sowore says planned coalition will only give President Tinubu return ticket. Police arrest suspected car snatcher, recovered stolen vehicle master keys in Port Harcourt. On the foreign scene, Red Cross says Palestinians stripped of human dignity. I'm Ifechukwu Moyele with the news. Now, the suspended Rivers State Governor Siminalayi Fubara visited President Bola Tinubu in Lagos on Tuesday. Photos shared by the State House showed Governor Fubara in a closed-door discussion with President Tinubu at his residence in Lagos State. President Tinubu has been in Lagos since last week, where he commissioned several projects. The president will remain in the state until the Salah celebrations are over. Details of their meeting are still unclear, but recall that President Tinubu suspended Governor Fubara from office amid political tensions in the state. It is the second time the Rivers State Governor is meeting with the president behind closed doors since his suspension on March 18. Now, in another development, former Rivers State Governor Chibike Amaechi says he will not descend to the level of a child by trading insult with FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. Speaking in an interview with Arise Television on Tuesday, Amaechi stated that Wike was once his chief of staff and therefore ranks beneath him politically. Amaechi also rejected the claim that Wike played a role in his election as governor. He said God, former Governor Peter Odili, the judiciary and the River State people made him governor. He further said he appointed Wike as chief of staff instead of commissioner for finance so he could monitor him closely. Recall that at his 60th birthday celebration last week, Amaechi said that just like millions of Nigerians, he is hungry. But on Monday, in a media chat, Wike dismissed Amaechi's comments as a ploy for political relevance. The FCT minister claimed that Amaechi is not hungry for food, but for political power. Meanwhile, human rights lawyer and IPOB counsel Ifeanyi Ejiofor has urged President Bola Tinubu to hold the monthly media chat held by FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, calling them wasteful and extravagant. In a statement on Tuesday, Ejiofor criticized the media sessions as costly exercises that serve no real purpose other than allowing the minister to grandstand. Now, he condemned the allocation of hundreds of millions of naira for these appearances, especially amid widespread poverty, inflation, and stagnant wages, calling it a clear case of misplaced priorities. In the meantime, former presidential candidate of the African Action Congress AAC, Omoyele Sowore, has warned that current coalition effort will only strengthen President Bola Tinubu's bid for re-election rather than challenge it. Speaking on Channels Television, Sowore said what the coalition is doing will make it easier for President Tinubu to return to office. Now, he said they are preventing the real organic coalition of the oppressed from emerging, and people are getting distracted. Elsewhere, the Federal High Court in Abuja has been urged to restrain the 2007 presidential candidate of the African Democratic Congress ADC, Patrick Utomi, from further making public comment or engaging in rallies in relation to the subject of a suit pending against him over his announced plan to establish a shadow government in the country. The request is contained in a fresh application filed before the court on Wednesday by the Department of State Security Services, DSS, following a report that Utomi, who is said to be abroad, has planned to engage in protests, road shows, media interviews and related activities upon his return to the country on June 6th. The grounds for the application, according to the DSS, if not restrained, Utomi's proposed rallies, road shows and actions constitute a serious threat to the public safety and national unity of Nigeria. Moving on now, some civil servants at the Rivers State Secretariat complex say the continuous power outage in the area is affecting productivity and work efficiency. Speaking in an interview with our correspondent, the civil servants shared how they climb with torchlight the staircase of the podium block that houses up to 15 floors due to non-functional lift. They urged the state sole administrator, retired Vice Admiral Ibogete Ibas, to urgently fix the power generating set and restore lift operation.
Most persons, the office is in 10th floor. You don't expect them to keep doing that.
In book on fuel subsidy fraud. Stay with us.
Showcase your business at the Port Harcourt Tech Expo 2025. Calling on all business owners who seek visibility.
You're welcome back, and now the rest of the news. Members of the Judiciary Staff Union of Nigeria, JUSUN, who started a strike on Monday, have resolved to suspend their national strike and resume duties today. They said the decision followed the intervention of the Chief Justice of Nigeria, CBN, Justice Kudirat Kekereekun, and other stakeholders. Now, the union had embarked on the strike to demand the implementation of the 70,000 naira new minimum wage and its arrears, a 25 and 35% salary increase, and 5 months wage award and arrears. In River State, the Federal High Court in Port Harcourt was locked on Monday and Tuesday. The usual court activities continued at the River State High Court in Port Harcourt as workers there did not comply with the strike. The Supreme Court and the National Judicial Council chapters of the JUSUN pulled out of the strike on Sunday. The River State Police Command says its operatives attached to the anti-cultism unit have arrested a car snatcher, recovered stolen vehicles, and master keys. Spokesperson of the command, SP Grace Iringikoko, said the suspect, identified as Felix Clark, was arrested during a routine patrol along Abata Road in GRA. While riding a bicycle, and upon conducting a search on him, 7 master keys were recovered. SP Iringikoko said the suspect was immediately taken to the station for further questioning. She said during interrogation, a red Hyundai Sonata, earlier stolen, was recovered from his residence. She also said that the suspect has made useful statement and has named other members of his gang operating in Delta, Edo, and Lagos State, and investigation is ongoing to arrest other members of the gang. Now, ahead of World Environment Day tomorrow, some environmentalists in River State are not pleased with efforts so far made to reduce the impact of looming flood disasters following NIMET's predicted heavy rainfall. Environmental Manager Mishak Uyi speaks to correspondent Bioruware on this.
There have been no preparedness whatsoever in Rivers State, Port Harcourt particularly, and its environment, in order to ensure that there will be no adverse effect. Anytime there is a heavy downpour, there is a flash flood. Drainages in Port Harcourt are heavily blocked with sand debris. Some of these drainages are covered and have not been desilted for a number of years. The administration to give charge, early preparedness and preparation for this thing would help the sole administrator to charge the local government authorities to see how they can deseal the drainages.
On his part, environmental rights advocate Henry Eferebo wants the state government to quickly activate committees set up by the previous administration.
I've not seen any preparedness from government. Before now, previous governments usually set up committees in the local government who interfaces with the people, ensures that all the blocked drainages and canals are open to enable free flow of water before the flooding starts. As far as I'm concerned right now, those things are not in place. Before now, government has not shown much concern to issues of the flooding, and this is the worst because this government had not prepared at all. And so I pity for those who are within the flood-prone area.
Eferebo also called for an intensified awareness campaign about the yearly flooding in the flood-prone communities in Rivers State. And now in business, a former chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Abdurrashid Bawa, has alleged a staggering scale of corrupt practices used to siphon public funds under the guise of fuel subsidy payment. Bawa revealed this in his book titled The Shadow of Loot and Losses, Uncovering Nigeria's Petroleum Subsidy Fraud. A statement said the former head of the anti-graft agency chronicled how billions of naira were embezzled through ghost importing and over-invoicing as companies submitted claims for fuel that was never imported or inflated shipment volumes to receive excessive subsidy payout. Another form adopted by the perpetrators of the scandals, as revealed in the book, is the manipulation of bills of lading, where fraudsters exploited international price fluctuations to claim higher subsidies by altering shipping documents. Other sharp practices exposed by Bawa, who served as the EFCC chairman from 2021 to 2023, are round-tripping double claims, diversion, and smuggling. In entertainment, Nollywood actress Regina Daniels has delivered the ultimate clapback, accusing fellow actress Angela Okurie of trying to pursue her billionaire husband, Ned Nwoko. In sports, a brace from Rashidat Ajibade was all the Super Falcons of Nigeria needed to earn a comfortable 2-0 victory over the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon in a friendly international on Tuesday.
And now, we bring you news from around the world.
The president of the International Committee of the Red Cross, Mirjana Spoljaric, says Gaza has become worse than hell on earth. Spoljaric, who made this known to the BBC, said Palestinians have been stripped of human dignity and international humanitarian law is being hollowed out. It comes as aid distribution centers in Gaza are closed today as Israel's military warns roads leading to the site will be considered combat zones. Hamas-backed local officials said at least 27 Palestinians were killed by Israeli fire close to an aid point on Tuesday. The IDF said its troops fired shots after identifying suspects who moved towards them, deviating from the designated access routes.
This is the news on 92.3 Nigeria Info.
That's a wrap on the news this afternoon. Before we go, let's have a look at the major stories. Governor Fubara yesterday visited President Tinubu in Lagos State. Former Transportation Minister Amechi has replied FCT Minister Nyesom Wike. Now, activist Sowore says the planned coalition will only give President Tinubu a return ticket in 2027. police have arrested a suspect a stolen vehicle master keys in Port Harcourt. On the foreign scene, you heard the Red Cross says Palestinians have been stripped of human dignity. The news was edited by Martha Okere. To reach the news team, send an SMS on WhatsApp to 0808-721-7215. I'm Ifechukwu Moyele. Many thanks for listening.